Salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button as you come on in. We go talk some boxing. The best and worst of 2023. Yeah, I'm getting situated real quick. Oh man, boy. They already got their picks too, as the who, the writers and the guys who kind of put it out there. They had kind of already got who they got in mind for the fighter of the year and everything else for the men, women. Salute to everybody in the building. We're gonna talk about the best and the worst of 2023, and I'm gonna let you guys pretty much pick these topics out as well, because really it matters what the people think. And hold up, as I still try to let me see, get situated real quick. All right. Yeah, and then recent news. Victor Conte came out and kind of spilled the beans. Right? He said, "Look, Errol Spence, he was doing this, he was doing that, and that was stupid. He shouldn't have been doing it." That's what Victor Conte said, man. Victor Conte came out and really kind of put up a new narrative for the fight for the people who was hating and shit. But now Victor Conte started some shit. Oh, and Katie Taylor. Oh my God. But yeah, it looks like the second men's fight is undisputed. He's the fighter of the year this year, Naoya Inoue. ESPN has voted Naoya Inoue as the men's boxer of the year. Yep, that's what ESPN did. I ain't got no problem with it. Just wait till some more people get in the building. Start the stream kind of early. Yeah. Started the stream kind of early. What's up, life winner? Salute to everybody in the building, man. The men's boxer of the year is the monster, Naoya Inoue, two-time undisputed champion, multi-divisional champion, one of the best fighters you ever see. I seen somebody, oh yeah, Boxing Kingdom said it. Yeah, I meant to comment on that bullshit. But he said basically that Naoya Inoue is one of the greatest fighters of all time, and that Terrence Crawford is just a great fighter in this era or some shit like that. I'm like, motherfucker. Do we agree with the monster being number one? I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it. Look like they got the women's boxer of the year already picked out as well. Katie Taylor. She be getting by, you know. Katie Taylor gets by in these fights. She really gets by. She lost a lot of fights that she shouldn't have won. You know. But she's been pretty busy. Katie's been pretty busy, man.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Smash the like button. We have 350 people and 90 fucking 5 likes.
Man. Yeah, so Katie Taylor is the women's boxer of the year. And I ain't got no problem with it because I'm definitely not about to give it to Clarissa Shields. Nope, she ain't getting no votes from me. She ain't getting no fucking votes from me. So I don't care who they get at to. Give it to Katie Taylor. She did her thing this year, whatever. But definitely I'm not voting for no quote, even though she did her thing and shit, and I praised her. And she was gonna be in a new intro and all that shit. But she was talking too much shit in the last quarter, the fourth quarter, and I'm not about to give her no more, none of that shit. So yeah, Katie Taylor is the women's boxer of the year, according to ESPN. I don't know how you guys feel about that one. It is what it is. You know, Alicia Baumgartner probably would have got it, but she blew it, testing positive and shit. And all the other ladies ain't, been up and down here and there. Amanda Serrano lost the fight to Katie Taylor, so how could you give it? You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to give to Katie Taylor by default. Let's see. Zhang Lang Lee wants to run back with AJ. So this is what they got voted so far, right? This is what they got voted so far, ESPN. But I seen another poll. Another one is pretty interesting. And this was on Twitter, voted by Boxing Twitter. This is the people on Twitter is voting, right? I see it on the screen, right? Yeah. People on Twitter is voting the awards, right? Fight of the year. Let me unclick this. I didn't know this was like a poll and shit. I didn't know what the hell this was. But it says Fight of the Year, Naoya Inoue, Terrence Crawford, Devin Haney, David Benavidez, Tim Tszyu, Gervonta Davis, Bam Rodriguez. If I'm honest, I'm not mad at any of those names. I'm not mad at any of those guys that's listed. Tank Davis fought a couple of times this year, had a big fight with Ryan. Tim Tszyu did his thing this year, fought several times this year. David Benavidez had a couple of big fights this year. Devin the Dream Haney really setting the tone, right? Terrence Bud Crawford finally got the fight with the big fight, the fight that everybody's been talking about with Errol Spence. Excellent performance. Naoya Inoue, I mean, he's been just doing every fucking thing, right? Bam Rodriguez. I mean, everybody on this list did something. You know what I'm saying? They fought somebody, they did something. So I'm not mad at this. But ESPN got Naoya Inoue. If I was to pick out of this list, and I'm not mad if anybody pick anybody different. But I'll give it to the young boy, Devin the Dream Haney, man. I'm gonna give it to Devin Haney. I'll give it to Devin Haney. I probably was gonna give it to Bud since he ain't gonna be around too much longer. But Devin Haney really did his fucking thing this year. So I gotta give it to Devin Haney. Then they got Fight of the Year. I don't know. The first fight they got is Devin Haney Lomachenko. Great fight, controversy, right? Emmanuel Navarrete, Robin Kasinkiao. In my opinion, that fight was a classic, absolute fucking classic, and they need to run that shit back. That fight was dope. Oshaki Foster, Eduardo Hernandez. They tried to rob Oshaki. Oshaki pulled through in the end and ended up getting the job done. You know what I'm saying? Really good fight. I think he was fighting down there in Mexico too. Jaime Munguia, Sergeychenko. I don't quite remember that fight. I'm sure it was a war. Derevyanchenko is a warrior. He's always in great fights. He always getting robbed too. So I'm sure he got robbed in that one as well. Rafael Espinoza, Robesi Ramirez, an upset. A fight that wasn't supposed to happen, but it happened because, dude took a fight short notice. 6 foot tall. Beat the shit out of Robesi Ramirez, the Cuban boxing standout. Olympic standout gold medalist, supposed to do big things in the professional rankings, and got beat by Rafael Espinoza. I believe he got stopped, if I'm not mistaken, too, right? Joe Cordina versus Rakhmonov. I don't recall seeing that fight, but I'm sure it was a classic if it was on here. Luis Neri versus Asvat Hashrinvin. Sorry if I butchered his name. I'm sure it was a classic. I didn't see that fight either. I'm sure it was a classic if it was on here. Right. But if the fights that I saw, I'm automatically picking this one. Emmanuel Navarrete, Robin Kasinkiao. That was a true throwback style type fight. I mean, excellent fight. I need to see the rematch. Then they got knockout of the year. Hold up before I continue, man. Hold up. They got knockout of the year. It says Junto Nakatani versus Andrew Maloney. Oh my God, that was brutal. Shit, I remember now. That was brutal. Jose Venezuela versus Chris Colbert 2. Brutal KO. Brian, all these was brutal fucking knockouts, bro. Tank and Ryan wasn't brutal like that, though. That wasn't really brutal. So I'll scratch that one. All the rest of them, you can kind of take your pick. But take out Zhang Wang Li versus Joe Joyce 2. Fuck, I don't know. Because knocking down the tower was pretty big. Colbert got knocked out Pacquiao style. And Maloney, I mean, I don't know, man. This is tough, but I'm going to have to give it to this one. Colbert, Jose Venezuela, Rayo versus Colbert 2. I have to get a knockout of the year to that one. That's just, I mean, all these are good fucking candidates, though, except for the Gervonta Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. I don't know why that's on there. All the rest of them, really good picks. Can't go wrong with any of them. But if you ask me, the Rayo Colbert 2 was just reminiscent of Marquez and Pacquiao. And then they got Performers of the Year. It's a pretty dope poll. And hit that like button for your boy for the guys who go catch the replay, because I'm not going to be too long. I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the things that happened this year. And sure enough, we got a nice little poll to use as a template. But the performance of the year, Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor. Naoya Inoue versus Stephen Fulton. Damn, hey, this list is fucking bananas, bro. Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis. Bam Rodriguez versus Sonny Edwards. Yudai Shirioka versus Panya Panarasi. Didn't see that fight. Canelo Alvarez versus please. David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade, and Katie Taylor versus Chantel Cameron 2. Well, you already know what I got, right? Performance of the year has got to go to Terrence Bud Crawford. That was probably one of the best performances you'll probably ever see in a fight of that magnitude, right? A fight that's that high profile and a performance that was just that fucking great. It's kind of hard to see. It's rare to see, I should say. Terrence did it. But Teofimo Lopez, Josh Taylor, excellent performance from Teofimo Lopez, who was sliding down the hill, had a lot of doubt. But yeah, Teofimo showed improved in that fight with Josh Taylor. Phenomenal performance from Teofimo Lopez. Outstanding. Naoya Inoue and Stephen Fulton, same week as Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. His performance was spectacular. Completely destroyed Stephen Fulton. Absolutely shit. It rivals the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence performance. It rivals that. It got overshadowed by it, but it definitely rivals it if you want to be unbiased. Naoya Inoue destroyed Fulton. He wasn't supposed to go out there and destroy him like that. Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis. Excellent performance. I had it a 50-50 fight. Big fan of both guys. I wanted to sit back on the fence on this one. Devin Haney looked phenomenal at 140 pounds. His absolute best performance I've seen of Devin Haney. He was firing on all cylinders at 140 pounds. And it's really hard to say who could beat Devin Haney at 140 right now, right? Excellent performance from Devin. That was his breakout performance right there at 140. Breakout performance of his career. You could damn near argue it's a performance of the year. But the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence had a lot of meaning behind it, right? Then, of course, Bam Rodriguez, Sonny Edwards, great fight. Sonny Edwards put up a violent effort, but ended up getting stopped by the very dangerous Bam Rodriguez. I mean, it was a really good fight. Sonny Edwards wasn't out of the fight until he got stopped pretty much, right? So I don't think it's performance of the year, but it was definitely a big fight for the little guys down there, right? And then the rest of them, I didn't see Yudai fight. I'm sure it was a great fight if it was on here, but then again, the Canelo Alvarez, Jamel Charlo was a dud. It was a bullshit fight. I don't consider that a real fight. David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade was a great fight. David Benavidez, Demetrius Andrade, it was a fight between two boogeymen, and Boo Andrade put up a very spirited effort, but he just couldn't do nothing with the Mexican monster. He couldn't put a dent in him. And then it just seemed like he got fatigued, and then David Benavidez pretty much forced him not to get up off the stool. I forgot what round it was, right? We saw it. It was a great fight, great performance, great fight. Then Katie Taylor versus Chantel Cameron. I believe Katie Taylor got dropped early in that fight, and she got up off the canvas and showed a lot of heart and grit and ended up beating Chantel Cameron. So, I ain't mad at the performance of the year list either. Some of them I didn't see. But I got to give it to Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, man. That was an excellent performance. It was one-sided, but that one side was enough for two people. It was so damn good. So, yeah, I give that to Terrence Bud Crawford. And upset of the year. Moving forward, man. Oh, shit. Here we go. Robeisy Ramirez and Rafael Espinoza. Ooh, that was an upset like a motherfucker. Joseph Parker versus the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. Holy shit. Let me go ahead and click that now. You know what? This Ajit Kabiev versus Arslan Markanov was a fucking upset too, bro. Ajit Kabiev is underrated. It was a huge upset. And if you was a gambling person, a person that's betting, you probably had Arslan beating Ajit Kabiev because he was such a big favorite. Ajit Kabiev went out there and smoked that guy. Huge upset, just not high profile. But Joseph Parker versus Deontay Wilder was the biggest upset. A massive upset. A lot of people probably didn't see it as an upset. They said that Joseph Parker had a chance. I didn't see it that way. And Joseph Parker showed improved. He got caught a second wind in his career. You know, at 31 years old, heavyweight, he probably called a second win. George Parker looked good, fought an excellent game plan, and really the Bronze Bomber just didn't do nothing in that fight. But it was a huge upset nonetheless. I think Robesi's up is a huge upset too, because that was not supposed to happen at all. I don't know. It's a you could take your pick. If you're a guy that's seen all these fights, you may seen one that was like, holy shit, he was not supposed to do that. But the ones that I've seen was not supposed to happen, especially the Robesi one. You know what? That might have to be the upset of the year. Nobody really. He came in like on a few days' notice and pretty much stopped him, right? Didn't he stop him some shit like that? Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I have to give. I'll give the Joseph Parker, man. That was a huge win for him. Huge win. That was better than any world title win, beating the Bronze Bomber, in my opinion. Then we got Trainer of the Year. Holy shit. Brian McIntyre, Bomac. The great sage, Bomac, right? Then we got Shingo Inoue, Naoya Inoue's father. Bill Haney, who I consider more of a promoter / manager, boxing hustler, but he's been doing his fucking thing nonetheless. Robert Garcia, who I always say is probably one of the best trainers in boxing, especially for the Latino fighters. He gets those guys together over there. Eddie Reynoso, he's been on a downslide. I don't know, right? With Eddie Bozy Ennis, I mean, come on. Until Boots Ennis, he's gonna always be in the contention. And Ben Davison, he's doing good for a young trainer. He had AJ looking phenomenal. Now, did it have something to do with the fact that AJ had pressure off of him? He had to deal with Wilder. I don't know. But whatever the case, Ben Davison is doing this thing out here as a trainer. A lot of guys in the UK pick up the phone and call him for assistance. But this is kind of debatable. If you want to be biased, if I want to be biased, I'll just say Bomac, right? But I'll probably give it to Bill Haney this year. I'll probably give it to, do I want to give it to Bill? I might give it to Bill, man. I'll probably give it to Bill this year. If me, I'll probably give it to Bill Haney. I don't know. I might give it to Bill. I'll probably give it to Bomac. It's between those two guys. I don't know. I'm being a little biased with this one. I'm being a little bit biased. Maybe Bozy too, because he's getting guys together. He got Andy Cruz and everything. I don't know, man. This is pretty tough when you sit here and think about it. But I'll probably just give it to Bill Haney, man, because he out here doing his motherfucking thing. So I'm giving it to Bill Haney, man. I'm going to give it to Trill Bill, man. He doing his thing out here this year. Promoter of the year. Yeah, this is interesting. Promoter of the year, Eddie Hearn. Hey, Eddie Hearn had a really strong fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? Bob Arum, it's probably been one of the worst years for Bob. Let me think about it. He had an okay year. Top Rank has okay years. It was an okay year for Top Rank, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. Tom Brown, pretty much Al Heyman, right? Then Frank Warren, Ben Shalom, Lucius. The promoter of the year, I have to give it to Tom Brown. I have to give it to Tom Brown, man. They put up some huge fights over there, man. Huge fucking fights. So I'm gonna give it to Tom Brown this year. Good runner-up probably would be Eddie Hearn, though. Maybe Ben Shalom, but I don't know, man. All these promoters did their thing, and maybe not Lou DiBella, but I seen Samson doing his thing. Oscar been doing his thing this year. The Excellency, Turkey been doing his thing towards the end of the year, but he got to put a little bit more skin in the game. But I think Turkey may take over in the next few years, man. Turkey been putting up some big fights over there in Right On. So, I mean, if you don't know who Turkey is, he's the dude that's running shit over there in Saudi Arabia, the Excellency guy. Network of the year. DAZN, Showtime, ESPN, Top Rank, BT Sports. I probably had to give it to Showtime. Even though Showtime, I probably had to give it to Showtime simply because they had a really good and bad year. They had a good year, though. They had a good year with a lot of fights. A lot of fights got made on Showtime this year. So I'm definitely getting it to Showtime. Even though they no longer with us in boxing and shit like that, I think I got to give it to them. They did a good job. Robbery of the year. Automatically, I'm going to have to give it to Rolly Romero, Ishmael Barrosos. Wait, let me look at the list. George Kambosos versus Maxie Hughes was a robbery. Felix Alvarado versus Angel Aliaya. I didn't see that fight. A lot of these fights I didn't see. Erickson Lubin versus Jesus Ramos. Erickson Lubin versus Chris Colbert 1 was a robbery. It was a robbery. I don't know. I think Chris did a good job though in that fight. I think he kind of fought his way back into that though. But the fight, the Lubin Jesus Ramos. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I thought Jesus won that. I don't know, and I thought he was going to win that fight going into it. But the biggest robbery definitely is Rolando Romero versus Ismael Barroso, the old man. Ismael Barroso is probably about 60 years old, and he actually won the fight against Rolando Romero, but they didn't give him the victory. Definitely the robbery of the year goes to Rolly Romero. Worst fight of the year. Holy shit. Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin De Los Santos. Holy shit, man. This is bad. This list is bad. Regis Prograis versus Danielito Zarrillo. Oh my goodness. Terrible fight. Richardson Hitchison versus Jose Zapata. I didn't get to see that one. I'm sure it was bad. Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. What? Hell no, that was a great fight. Dimitri Bill versus Landon Arthur. Was that a bad fight? It was kind of bad, but I've seen much worse. Or Deontay Wilder versus Parker was a bad fight. That was a horrible fight, but I got to give it to this one. Shakur Stevens versus Edwin De Los Santos. Because at least in Deontay Wilder and George Parker landed a few big overhands and shit like that. Fury and Ngannou was a great fight. It surprised a lot of people. For instance, surprised a lot of people. Regis Prograis, Danielito Zarrillo was probably one of the worst performances you'll ever see from a top-level fighter. And Regis Prograis was the controller of that. It was a terrible, terrible performance. And but Shakur Stevens versus Edwin De Los Santos, man. One of the worst fights you'll probably ever see. And I'm a big Shakur Stevenson fan. Horrible fight. No point in even watching it. I've seen better sparring sessions. I've seen better kid fights in the streets on YouTube and shit, bro. Like, that was a horrible, horrible, horrible fight. And he definitely needs to run that shit back, for sure. I don't want even, honestly, like I said, I don't want to hear nothing about Shakur until he's running back. He got to see Edwin again. He got to see that guy. Prospect of the year. We got Andy Cruz, Austin M.O. Williams. I don't think he should be considered a prospect anymore. Abdullah Mason, Bruce Shushu Carrington, Emilio Vargas, Floyd Schofield, Richard Torres, Nick Ball, Hamza Cerise, Adam Azim, Moses Atum. And a lot of these guys I never heard of towards the bottom. I'm sorry. But these guys up here, Andy Cruz, M.O. Williams, Abdullah Mason, Bruce Carrington, Emilio Vargas, all are fucking beasts. Floyd Schofield, all are going to be the guys that we're going to be talking about. Andy Cruz is kind of old. We should be talking about him already with guys like Tank. But these guys right here, Abdullah Mason, Carrington, Emilio Floyd, we're going to be talking about them. And probably these guys, too, I'm not too familiar with. I heard of Nick Ball, but I'm not too familiar with all these other guys like that. But the future looking good. But if you ask me right now, the prospect of this year, I had to go to Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason, I think that kid got next, man. He got next. All these dudes could possibly have next in their respective weight classes. So be on the lookout for him. Andy Cruz is old, though. Andy Cruz should be up here fighting, Keyshawn and everybody else already, relatively soon. They go push him fast. Event of the year. It has Anthony Giles versus Wallin / Deontay Wilder Joseph Park Day of Reckoning, Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, Tank versus Ryan, Canelo versus Jamel, and Tyson Fury versus Ngannou. Wow, this is a good-ass list, man. This is a good-ass poll right here. Whoever made this poll, they did a good job. This pretty much kind of covered everything for this year, really. But the event of the year, ooh, this is tough. I'm not giving it to Canelo and Jamel. That shit was trash. That's tough, though, bro. Because if I don't want to take my fandom out of it and my biasness out of it, all those events were spectacular, especially the ones that was over there in the Middle East, man. They put up a hell of money to put up them shows. Spencer Crawford was a classic. I'm going to watch that shit again, too. I don't know, but shit. Because the Fury and Ngannou was a hell of an event, too. They put on a hell of a show. I don't know, bro. And nobody wouldn't even check it for Fury and Ngannou like that. But that event they put up out there was spectacular, man. They did. That was that, man. I probably had to give the AJ Wilder, though, the Day of Reckoning. It was just such a huge event. Everybody was on a damn card. But I don't know, bro. This is tough. Tank and Ryan was huge too, man. I don't know, bro. This one is pretty tough, honestly. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one, man. This one's tough. Because Tank versus Ryan is one of the bigger fights that was made. Hella eyes on it. Oh shit. I don't know, man. This one's tough, bro. But I may have to give it to AJ and Wilder though. I had to give it to the heavyweights. Good runner up. Oh man, the runner up is even tougher because it's either between Tank and Ryan or Crawford and Spence. But biasly, I'll pick Spence and Crawford over Tank and Ryan anyway because that was a real fight. It wasn't no rehydrations or no stipulations or no shit like that. So, but I had to give it to event of the year. It definitely has to be the Day of the Reckoning. It was like a WWE type of title. It was I heard WWE title. It was all kinds of zombies and shit. You know, they put a lot of money into that. So I definitely had to give it the event of the year 2023 to AJ and Wilder. And I think that's about it, man. Salute to this dude who put this together, man. So prospect of the year for 2023, Abdullah Mason. The worst fight of the year, right? Some of the worst of 2023. Shakur Stevens, Edward De Los Santos. You got to give it to him. It was a horrible performance, and he got a lot of work to do to dig himself out of that fucking hole. Rolando Romero is the robbery of the year against the old man of Ishmael Barrosos. Robbed the old man, robbed him blind. And this is all she wrote, right? Network of the year, got to give it to Showtime, even though they're no longer with us. They did a phenomenal job on their way out. Promoter of the year, Tom Brown. Yeah, that's right, Tom Brown. He's a promoter of the year this year. Even though you don't hear nothing from the guy, he put up some of the biggest fights of this year and in a long time. AKA Al Heyman. Trainer of the year, I give it to Bill Haney. Why? Because Trill Bill just doing some of every damn thing. And Bill Haney, whatever the case may be, whether you think he's a real trainer or not, he's be cornering his son and his son be kicking fucking ass. I'm giving it to Bill Haney this year. I would runner up would be Brian McIntyre. I literally would have gave it to Brian McIntyre, but I'm giving it to Bill Haney this year. Joseph Parker, upset of the year for sure, beating the Bronze Bomber, huge upset, followed by runner up Rafael Espinoza beating Robesi. That was not supposed to happen. Performance of the year, of course, Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the best performances you'll ever see in a boxing ring and a fight of that magnitude, right? Followed by, in my opinion, this is tough. It's either between Devin and Teofimo as far as, this tough right here. The runner-up would be tough. I don't know. I'll have to give it to the Monster, though. The Monster went out there and absolutely smoked Nail anyway, and then I'll give it to Devin Haney. And then Teofimo. So the Monster, it'll be Bud, the Monster, Devin, then Teofimo as far as the performances of the year. Knockout of the year, Jose Venezuela, Chris Colbert 2, Pacquiao Marquez's. Just Pacquiao Marquez part 3 or 5 or 8. That's what that was. Fight of the year, man, you never read Robinson Kasinkiao. We talked about it. Great fight, classic. One of the best fights I've seen this year. Absolute war. If you want to see a fight, when you go back and watch that one. You know what I'm saying? I definitely need to see a rematch. And the fighter of the year, I gave it to Devin the Dream Haney. Young guy, 24 years old, doing big things in the sport of boxing, maneuvering through the politics of boxing and making things happen. Beating some of the best fighters available. And yeah, man, and no stipulations, no rehydration. So I'm definitely giving fighter of the year to Devin the Dream Haney. I would have gave it to Terrence Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Considering Terrence Bud Crawford, he's the best fighter of this generation. But I don't know. I might give it to Bud since this is last run, right? Last time we'll probably see Bud. Probably be next year and shit. So, but I don't know. I think I'm giving it to Devin Haney because he did a lot this year. And there's nothing wrong with the fighter of the year list. Everybody on this list deserves to really be here. One may question Tank, but I ain't got no argument for it. Great list. I got Devin Haney though, man. Fighter of the year. I gotta give it to Devin Haney, bro. But yeah, man. That's some of the best and the worst of 2023. The worst is probably Shakur Stevenson. Some of the other worst. There's a lot of other stuff outside the ring, right? Do we really want to go there here? I don't think we really need to go there. Some of the stuff that fighters and stuff say over on Twitter and on social media, shit like that. Clarissa Shields shot herself in the foot. Who else? Big Baby Miller, not Big Baby Miller, but Big Baby Anderson did alienated himself from his fan base. A lot of fighters did a lot of stupid shit. We can sit here all day. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow, a part 2. But we wanted to keep a little bit more positive on this one. That's right. We'll just keep this one a little bit more positive and talk about the fighters of the year and things of that nature. But we're gonna talk about some of the bullshit in the next one, and then it'll be 2024 before you know it. But salute to everybody that stopped in, man. Just quick live stream. We gonna talk about more detail tomorrow. I'm gonna go open up the panel and get you guys' thoughts on everything that happened in 2023 and what you expect and look forward to in 2024. Hit that like button for your boy. Hope everybody have a good evening. Peace out.